Good afternoon, everyone. Les and Wendy here. Wendy's ignoring me. So today we are doing a video about what exactly is St. John. Is St. John a city of incomparable beauty, as you see here, with the St. John River reversing itself, flowing back upriver due to the world's largest high tides from the Bay of Fundy pushing the water back against itself? Is that what St. John is? That's what we kind of think of it as. And then there's some people that think of St. John as a big, ugly city of industry, as we look here at the Irving Pulp and Paper Mill on the west side. So what is St. John? I guess it depends on your perspective and what you want it to be. To us, St. John is the most beautiful city that we have ever lived in Canada. We have the reversing falls ahead of us. We have the greenery. We have the blue skies. Of course, you know how much we love the Atlantic Ocean, the Bay of Fundy. But St. John is definitely also a city of industry. And the reason it has survived long enough to be Canada's oldest city is because of the industry that exists here right now and long before tourism ever made its mark on the province and the city of St. John. Nowadays, tourism is the driver of economic growth and development, both in the city of St. John and the province of New Brunswick and most of Atlantic Canada. And you can see why as you look through. See this beautiful greenery in the pastures, the churches with the steeples, the history that exists, the incredible St. John River. But St. John is an industrial city as well. So it depends on your perspective and what you're looking for. But we came here because of the beauty of the place, the friendliness of the people, which kind of comes from being a blue-collar city. The freshness of the air, which you wouldn't think due to this industry, but the breezes and the air movement off the Bay of Fundy keep the air beautifully fresh. We rarely, if ever, get air quality advisories, and when we do, like we did last week, it was due to wildfire smoke drifting in from northern Ontario. Not due to the industry here. I think it becomes someone else's problem when the air moves it outwards. It doesn't affect us here.
So, hi everybody. Thanks for introducing me last.
I did actually when you were ignoring me.
Anyhow, we're on the west side of St. John. This is the part of the city that we live in. We love it here just because we always get a nice breeze off the bay. And so we never, ever, well, I can't say ever, once in a blue moon we'll smell the pulp mill on a very non-breezy day, but it's once in a blue moon. And so we don't smell it. The bay keeps the air nice and fresh in the area that we live in. And yeah, like Les said, it just becomes somebody else's problem as it gets blown elsewhere. Now this part of the reversing falls is the other side of the reversing falls, and right now it's high tide, and so the bay is pushing the river back into itself. And as you can see, there's tons of birds that are feeding here. It brings in a whole fresh food source when it's high tide, and so they're diving into the water here, coming up with fish, and yeah, they're having a feast for sure. So lots of nature around here. The reason why the industry is on the waterfront is because St. John is Canada's oldest incorporated city. So industry needed the waterways to ship materials in and ship their goods out. So it is a part of St. John, but there's way more beautiful about St. John than the eyesore pulp mill that we just showed you. And as our videos, all the rest of our videos have proven, so a lot of people, it depends on whether you're a glass half empty type of person or a glass half full kind of person. you're going to focus on whatever it is that you want to focus on. We choose the beauty just because it is the prettiest city in Canada that I've ever been to.
And this is where we are. We chose this spot for a reason. This is called Falls View Park. And the views here are stunningly beautiful and stunningly ugly. So again, it depends on what you want to focus on. If this is what you want to see, maybe you don't want to be here. But if this is what you want to see, maybe there's no better place to be. So Falls View Park is a great example of the dichotomy that is St. John. It's a tale of two cities. It's industry and it's beauty. And this park also is very popular during cruise season because it has these really cool zip lines. You can climb up on one of those platforms. Wendy said there's 6 of them. And you can zip line across the reversing falls and hope not to fall into the water. Earlier on, when we were just looking out, we saw some sea dogs, as they're known here.
Which are seals and sea lions elsewhere.
So this is an old viewing platform where you can take a look at the river and the reversing falls underneath that bridge there, or watch your loved ones zip lining across the river. And then if you're a negative minded person, you can just stare at this. So that's why if you've been doing research on the city, you'll often hear negative comments from locals, and they're not entirely wrong, because the city can and does have its ugly parts, but the beautiful parts far outweigh that, in our opinion. We're standing out here on a midsummer day with a beautiful breeze blowing. It's 22 degrees yet again. We couldn't be happier. We don't smell anything right now coming off of this thing.
Yeah.
And we're right there.
We are right here, yep.
We smell nothing but fresh air, because that Bay of Fundy is giving us this breeze and blowing any of that exhaust away from us. And that's kind of what our life is like here. Now on the east side of the city, you have the refinery, similar idea, very close to the Bay of Fundy at the Redhead neighborhood of St. John. And same idea, if you're up close, you might smell it.
So what Les is showing you right now is the ruggedness of St. John that I just love. There's like cliff faces everywhere, and it's just amazing to see how there's so much rugged terrain everywhere in and amongst civilization. Like it's very rugged, and just beautiful, natural beauty everywhere. The city itself is so unspoiled.
Now the nice thing about having people like us doing videos where we couldn't be bothered to do any editing is you see everything as we see it. So everything that we've shown you in our videos is true.
There's a sea dog down there, sweetie.
We focus on the beautiful parts, but we don't ignore the industry ever. Wendy's obsessed with sea dogs, but they don't show up very good on the camera.
But usually they come in at high tide to feed as well, because like I said before, the high tide brings in a fresh food source from the ocean, so it's pretty amazing.
So that's about all we have to show you today. We want, if you're thinking of moving into this area from out of town, you got to know, what the city is. It's both industry and beauty, and they're both very important to the economic prosperity here. We focus on the beauty because it's better than what we've seen anywhere we've lived in Canada.
Yes.
And we probably will not be doing the zip line, but if any of you are interested in it. And we did zip line before in Belize, of all places, but that was the one and done for me. So.
Me too.
So,
been there, done that.
Zip lining's not open now because we're in COVID times, but it'll be back again. So that's going to be it for this video.
And so we are in front of industry here. It's a big part of St. John, but we still love St. John because it's gorgeous.